Hi, this is Patrick Kennedy, and I'm with Mounir Ajam. We're talking about his startup that is currently live on WeFunder. They're raising, are you looking to raise the full 1 million or is it 5 million?
No, we have raised before about 500,000. So
Okay.
basically, ideally, we want another 500,000 to reach the 1 million.
Okay, fantastic. And can you walk us through a little bit about your background and history and how you founded this company, what the need was for this product?
Sure. I'm a civil engineer by education, with a master's degree in engineering as well, but with the focus on engineering and construction management. And that was 32 years ago. With that master's degree from the University of California at Berkeley, I joined Exxon Chemical in 1990 to work on project management of petrochemical project. So I started working in their estimating division, and then became a lead estimator. I worked as a project engineer in the field inside an existing refinery. And then I ended up working on a mega project for Exxon, where we were building a mega project, and the oil and gas mean $1 billion or above. So we had one of those projects where I led the whole estimating work for that project. And then I joined the team to do what we call project control as part of the project management team on that project. That's how I started my career in project management. And I've worked the first 15 years of my career after my master's. I was mostly working in the oil and gas industry. Again, was Exxon Chemical first, and then work on another mega project with BASF and Total, and then moved to Saudi Arabia to join Saudi Aramco. So basically, the first 15 years with these three companies working on capital-intensive project in the oil and gas sector. And that is how I learned and enhanced my project management skills. Then later on, we decided that there is a need for project management education. There is a significant gaps in understanding of project management in West Asia and Saudi, UAE. So I started a company at that time called Sukad. We started in Dubai, focusing on project management education, professional development, and consultancy. And as we were doing this training and meeting with people, providing them training on certification or the project management framework from the Project Management Institute, what we find out there is a huge gap in the market in understanding how to apply project management. And that led me to develop a methodological process that has to be customizable and adaptable for different type of project and different industries. So not only oil and gas or engineering construction, but even in technology, marketing, event management, pharmaceutical. So we developed that methodological approach back. We started to work on it in 2007. And by 2017, we had done our third iteration of it, and CRC Press published a book for me on that subject. And the idea was, this was in 2017, that work on the methodology and to cover the needs in the market and the gaps in the market need to become a digital platform. It has to be transformed. Initially, we thought about doing a small app, but then later on, the idea evolved that project management is so huge. It required something much more robust than an app that could be used on phone. So we have to develop a fully comprehensive, versatile platform for managing projects. And that led us to shut down our office in Dubai and move to Houston, Texas in the US to restart the company here as Sukad Corp. And currently we're operating under a DBA of Uruk Project Management, because Uruk is the name of the platform that we are developing at this stage. Right. So our focus currently is getting the product to market as a comprehensive project management solution that will be built over many years, but it will be built gradually. And as of today, we have an MVP out in the market.
Right, let me back up a little bit, because I think people who are everyone understands how enormous oil and gas is, but when you actually look at the numbers compared to other industries, it's quite staggering. So Aramco I just looked this up. They have a $2 trillion market cap.
Correct.
They're pumping 10 million barrels a day of crude oil, which is 13% of all the crude oil pumped in the world. And they have, it looks like 67,000 employees.
Right.
And I'm sure the other oil companies are also incredibly massive. So you're talking about these projects, you're talking about $1 billion plus projects that you were working on. How many people are you talking about managing on a project of that size? You're talking about 1,000 people or 2,000 people?
Yeah, I mean, before I answer that, I mean, the Uruk platform is not designed for the mega project. It's designed for any project, right? But yes, in mega project, typically, when we talk about a project management team, it's really hard to come up with a number because you have multiple layers. For example, first you start on the owner side, like in Aramco or in Exxon. A project management team on $1 billion project could be 30 people, okay? That's project management from the owner side. And then you have typically the general contractors that might have 100 or 200 or 300 engineers and people working in engineering and project management. And when you get to construction, you probably end up with something like, and I'm talking about here, a small mega project, right? Maybe 5,000 workers on site and hundreds of engineers and people involved. And if some of the mega project could be, $5, $10, $20 billion, right? And for something like this, you could have 50,000 workers on site. So they are massive. That part of the background that brought me and taught me project management to incorporate into Uruk Platform. However, what we are designing the Uruk Platform, we are designing this to work on project regardless of size or complexity. So you could be working on a project with 2 people working for 3 weeks, and the Uruk Platform would provide you the methodology that has been tailored to fit exactly that kind of context, small project, low complexity project, or all the way to the large and complex project that could be in the tens and hundreds and millions of dollars. Right? So what we are providing is the key feature of Uruk that doesn't exist anywhere else in the market today, unless it's designed for a company inside, is the idea of tailoring the project management method to fit the project type. So basically, if you are in pharmaceutical, different than technology, different than oil and gas, and to fit the size and complexity. So if you have a tiny project that could be weeks in duration, or you could have a mega project that might be 10 years in duration, a platform like Uruk would definitely help you. Okay.
So let me just to finish up on your previous history. So you've got these like army-sized projects. You got armies of people working with them at different layers, different entities. What did you see was the deficits of project management software at that time that you developed you decided to develop your own system?
Well, for project and capital project industry, there's a lot of software that exists in the market, for example, that help with scheduling. And for those who have project Primavera or P6 by Oracle is right now the dominant player. On something smaller, maybe something like MS Project. So they have a scheduling software that is very good if you use it properly. They have a lot of project costs and estimating and control systems in place, right? But they don't have a holistic project management. So basically, when you want to go to the detail, there are a lot of sophisticated tools in the market. Again, scheduling, for estimating, for project control. And there are many companies providing solutions for that technical, detailed level work. But no one is offering what we call a holistic life cycle approach. Basically, what I mean here, from inception, so a strategic planning department in a company or facilities planning in an existing plant they want to expand. Yesterday in the news, Tesla, they had just built a mega project, mega factory in Austin, and they just announced yesterday they want to expand it, right? So something like this, from the time that idea came out and up to developing the concept, defining what we want the final product to look like, to conduct a feasibility study, to define the requirement, before we even get to engineering and construction, and all the way into operation, that life cycle, stage gate process, although it exists on paper in all of these organizations, there is no digital solution for it. So even when a company as sophisticated as Aramco or Exxon, they might follow similar process to the process we have designed. However, they might not have the digital solution to keep it. Now, what the advantage of the digital solution is that all your project steps across department, will help you collaborate across division, will help integrate project management with the business side and operation at the end. That integration piece and the work that can be documented, all of it can be documented inside the platform, that doesn't exist. So whether you are working on mega project or working on the small type of project, a digital project lifecycle management solution does not exist. And that is the key differentiator that Uruk is offering to the market. Right? Okay. And when it comes to those detailed project control or estimating, we will not be going there. We will integrate with them. Maybe we'll provide a link with those kind of software that exists in the market. For example, today, we integrate with MS Project. They have the ability to download an MS Project template that we designed, and then people can download it and use it inside the platform. So we want to focus on the management of the project across the division, across the different sectors, from ideation and the inception all the way until the project is operating and producing whatever it needs to produce, or if it's software, people are using the software. Okay.
All right. So again, as a layperson, I'm going back to these mega projects. So with this software, would all the different entities be using the same software? So basically, everyone's on the same page. Is that the idea?
Yeah, basically, as you go through the project, you go through stages, right? For example, in inception of a project could be done by a facilities department or a strategic planning department. For the mega project, there'll probably be a huge economic department and strategic planning working on something like this. On the smaller project, it could be a facility department. We want to expand this facility. It could be a building, and we want to add some facilities to this building, right? So whoever that come up with an idea typically is the business side. And often project management is completely missing there, because these are business people are looking at economics indicator, looking at market need, looking at market analysis, and coming up with a solution, with a product, like a startup would be, right? But typically project management as a domain or the skill might not exist in that unit. So what we are saying right now, no, we want to introduce project management even at that very early stage, because numerous research and studies have found the project don't fail in engineering and construction, they fail in the feasibility because maybe we haven't done proper analysis at the front end. So we want to move project management from being technical domain into a strategic domain where organizations are using the skills and the strategic value of project management, even at the inception level. So you will have let's say strategic planning work on a project, they will be using the platform. And they might be using another department or maybe even a vendor to help them with conducting a market research and feasibility study that documented inside the platform. Then the project might move to another department, right? Might move to an engineering department to do the defining the requirement, if it is an engineering project, to define the stakeholder expectation. What does the stakeholder want? What are the technical requirements? So that might be in an in-house engineering department might be working on this. And that will be, everything will be documented in the platform, and everything that was done before, they can access it and see it because it is on the platform. Okay. Next, the project might go to an engineering department where we want to hire a contractor to do engineering and construction, right? The management of the engineering and construction from the owner side is also inside the platform. And operation need to start preparing to operate the facility when it's finished, whether it's a hotel or a chemical plant. Right? That is inside the platform. So whether you are a business person, a technical person, a project management person, or an operation person, you would be able to use the platform on that project where all the information is consolidated. What's even better, executive in real time can log in, and they will have a free license. They can log in and see the progress of all the project within the organization in real time. and they can drill down and look at, they can identify, see what risk we're facing on these projects, what these projects, how are they performing in terms of cost or schedule? Are we ahead or are we behind? They can look at the quality issues. They can look at any lessons they need to capture it. All that information is consolidated inside the platform. So you have the whole history there.
All right, so you could even do a post-mortem. So if something goes wrong, you can go back to it and find out where things went awry.
Yes, but we do not want to wait for the post-mortem because the damage is done. If you think about a project at $100 million,
yeah,
and it suffered 20% overrun, that's $20 million.
Yeah.
Right. So I do not want to make, yeah, sure. We, at the end, we can do assess success and we can do the post-mortem, but we want to be predictive. The idea is that we want to be involved from the beginning to prevent the failure at the end, right? We might not be able to prevent failure on every project, but at least we want to minimize the chance of failure and maximize success. Because again, whether you are dealing with a small project or a large project, 1% on a billion project is a lot of money. You can build school for that, right? So, and the statistics on these projects is miserable, especially in infrastructure project. I mean, some of the research have shown is only 1 out of 1,000 project is truly successful.
Wait, say that again. 1 out of 1,000 is.
Some of the research we've seen is 1 out of 1,000 project is truly successful. That means it meets its cost objective, the schedule objective, and the business objective.
1 out of 1,000?
That's some of the research. In oil and gas, it's 35%. In large capital project, its success rate is better, it's 60%. In technology, success rate is 30%.
Okay.
So it's the huge impact to economies. When we talk about project failure, yes, in mega project, the magnitude is much larger. But even, let's say you are a highway department for a state, and you probably spend, I think yesterday Houston was announced, I'm in Houston, they announced about $2 billion worth of infrastructure project. There may not be one project, there could be numerous projects, but imagine 10% impact, let's say 10% impact on that $2.6 billion project or program. In that case, it would be a program of project, a portfolio of project. 10% on 2.6 billion, it's a lot of money, right? Can we help organizations save 10%? I'm sure we will be.
Now you have the figure 20%. Where does that figure come from?
When we look at project cost, I mean, right now it's an estimate based on experience because we don't have the platform out in the market yet, so we don't have case studies. Okay. Right? But if you look at project cost, typically there are two components. First, we have the project management cost. To manage a project like this, remember you asked me earlier about how many people are involved in managing the project. Typically, depend on the type of project. Project management cost is somewhere between 1% or all the way to 10%, including engineering. And so if we can save, we can probably, in the area of project management costs, we can probably save companies more than 20 or 30 or even 40%, because a lot of time is wasted sometime on developing the method or figuring out or recreating the wheel. By providing the systems in place and everything is there for you, it will help you, and the history is there as well. It helps you do project much faster and an expedited way with less cost on the project management cost. And then when we look at the actual cost of the project, most of the cost is in implementation. For example, engineering, construction, 95% of the cost is once you go to engineering. A solution like ours will help you minimize mistakes. So on average, what we have seen, projects end up costing 20 and 30% more than budget. What we think is that we can help organizations save potentially up to 20%. Obviously, not on every project, because if you're new to project management, we probably save you more. And if you have been already doing project management for a while, the saving will be less, right? So we don't have a way to measure this because we haven't, the platform is not out yet, but we definitely believe there is significant savings and following a formal process, because our solution is not a tool, it's a solution. You probably hear me say the word solution all the time. because we provide the life cycle, we provide the steps, we provide deliverable, the gate, we provide templates, we provide knowledge. There is a knowledge portal built inside the platform with books and ebooks and case studies that we'll be publishing. So the platform is not only, it's not like I'm giving someone a tool to go manage tasks. I'm giving them a solution with tailored method to follow, plus all the deliverables and the component that they need to help them manage project, plus educational content.
Understood. So we got 3.5 minutes. So I'm going to make a couple points, and then I'm going to ask you a little bit about the size of the market. So
Okay.
You on the campaign page, which I've listed in the chat, and when we send this out on email, we'll obviously include the campaign page. You said you grew up in the Civil War, were an immigrant to the United States. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Lebanon.
Okay. And
in Lebanon, we had the Civil War from 75 to 1990. I left in 81.
Okay, great. And you had mentioned this, you've actually written 2 books on project management published by CR Press. Project Management Beyond Waterfall and Agile, 2017, and Leading Mega Projects, That Approach, 2020. So you obviously, you've written the books on, you literally written the books on these projects. So you've got the background. And my understanding is this is an agnostic approach. It doesn't matter if it's technology, petrochemicals, aerotech, any project from 2 people to 67,000 can use this software to manage their projects.
Yes.
Okay, great. And
yes,
finally,
I mean, the idea, we have used our approach and my methodology and the software right now on $30,000 software development project. We have used it to write and publish a book. We have used it to organize an event, like a marketing event. We have used it to enhance the website. And I mean, that's internally. And of course, we can use it on large and complex projects.
Okay, and a couple more things. We got 2 minutes. How big is this market? Is this a $50 billion market, or do you know the size of it?
The market, based on some of the research we've seen and some of the data, that is basically estimate up to about $7 billion. And we're talking about here cloud-based project management software.
Okay.
So if we zoom in on that, so it's not the whole project management market, and it's not the whole software, just basically we're talking about cloud-based project management software. The estimate is up to about $7 billion, $6.9 billion a year by 2027, I believe. Today, we have basically about more than 2 million people with one project management certification or another, mostly from the Project Management Institute. I think the last number I've seen, they have like 1.3 million PMP. This is not to mention the other certification that PMI offer. Plus there is a Prince 2 certification, plus there is IPMA certification. So there are potentially 2 to 3 million people with one project management certification or another. These are potential customers.
Okay, and you've raised, is it $500,000 so far? Is that accurate?
Yeah, we've raised $500,000 between self-investment, family and friends, and we did a crowdfunding campaign last year.
Okay, and you're looking to raise another 500,000 in this campaign?
Correct.
Okay. Now, my understanding is if someone's willing to invest 5,000, 10,000 or more, they can email you directly and set up like a 15-minute Zoom call to talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone is interested in raising 5,000 plus, investing, they can reach out to me via email. We can also schedule a Calendly discussion, private one-on-one discussion where we can share all the details they're interested in, whether they want to know more about the product itself or the investment opportunity. We will be happy to discuss.
Great. All right, so we'll include that when we send this out to everyone tomorrow. We'll include your direct email for them to give a talk to you. And the 24 minutes is up. But any final thoughts before we log off?
No, I mean, we believe, I know sometimes people tell us that there's a lot of software in the market, project management software. True, there is probably hundreds of project management tools in the market. And many of these could be, as one person had explained his opinion to us once, it's either too basic, too narrow, or too expensive, meaning there are many of those tools could be called project management tools. Yes, they can help us in managing project, but they are mostly about managing tasks or collaboration or timesheet. Or they could be sophisticated tools like Primavera and MS Project, but they are dedicated to scheduling. So they focus on an area. Or there are some ERP systems that could be very expensive. What we're trying to do is trying to consolidate and offer something totally new that doesn't exist in the market, which is how to manage project across the life cycle by integrating project management with business and operation. This is often missed in project management literature and definitely missed in project management software tools that exist. So what we are offering is a solution that help organizations manage project across industries, regardless of size, type, or complexity.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that wraps up our interview for today. And anyone interested, we're going to send out the direct email and also the link to the campaign page. The pitch deck is on the campaign page. So I'm looking through that now. It is quite comprehensive, and it goes through, we didn't have time to talk about the team, but this is really a world-class team of engineers and developers on this project. So please check it out and contact us directly if you're interested in investing 5,000 plus, or you're an accredited investor, 5,000 or less, you're happy to go to the website, or you're welcome to email us questions as well, and we'll answer those via email.